Imagine taking a journey through Dr. Bill, who's the master distiller over at Glenmorangie. Taking a tour through his mind and taking a tour through the world with him when he thinks about whiskey. That's what you're going to get here with this sampling today, with this comparison today. This is going to be a tale of Tokyo, a tale of the forest, and a tale of ice cream. What are you going to get out of a tale of Tokyo? You're going to get the Mizunara, which is going to be the Mizunara cask. They're less than 1% of the world's cask in terms of volume. So you're going to get like a really strong oak kind of taste and also strong smell of char, which I got immediately when I opened it up and gave it a little bit of a whiff. And then you're on the tale of forest, you're going to get a special kilning process that kilns, or which is just drying out barley with the use of different types of botanicals or herbs from the forest. And that's just going to give it a different bit of flavor, and it's going to infuse it probably with a different type of smoke. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then of course you get a tale of ice cream, which they've taken specially charred casks that give it more vanilla punch, which is called vanillin, which is the type of molecular setup or the molecules of what makes up vanilla, and that's what you're going to get here from this Glenmorangie A Tale of Ice Cream. So loving it, looking forward to it. Which one is going to be the best? I don't know. I have no clue yet. Maybe you have an idea. Maybe you've tried these before, but I'm going to give them a head-to-head so I can really find out. Let me go ahead and start pouring them. Let's get some of that A Tale of Tokyo, which is inspired by obviously matcha culture and the culture of the market in Tokyo. And then A Tale of the Forest, which is inspired by walking through the forest, experiencing moss, experiencing nature, having a lot of those really nice, beautiful smells that you smell if it's been a nice rain or something like that. So that's what you're gonna get from this one. And then of course, Tale of Ice Cream. You know what ice cream smells like. It smells like vanilla. It smells strong. It smells sweet. It smells concentrated. So I'm assuming that's what we're gonna get here. Let's put them side by side. Do a little bit of that color, see if we get any differences. And on another Glenmorangie review that I've done, you'll see that there's quite a bit of color differences in that core range. And I'm actually going to do another one coming up soon. It's going to be very interesting. I'm going to go over some 18-year bottles because they have a few different 18-year-old bottles, and I want to put it side by side against a 15-year, a 12-year, and against the Signet. And I love the Signet, so let's see what happens. On the color side, they almost look identical. I see a little bit of the color difference here in A Tale of Ice Cream. That could be just from more time, more age, or maybe more of that vanillin, the compound that's coming out of those casks when they've been a little bit more toasted and prepared for this. All right. As usual, I got some water. Make sure you do the same if you're doing a tasting. If you're doing a flight, you're sharing with others. Pace yourself. Have a little bit of water. There's nothing wrong with being healthy. And of course, I got myself some pairings, as you should do as well. A little bit of chocolate that comes in a cracker form. Got a little bit of white cheese. Got some pistachios that are covered in dark chocolate, because dark chocolate is high fat, solid, delicious, and it's actually good for your brain. And then of course I got some regular corn tortilla chips. I kind of like them. I thought it would be something nice to make it neutral, and a little bit of these covered almonds. They have like a little bit of different seasonings on them, salt and vinegar, stuff like that. All right, let's start with A Tale of Tokyo. Wow, there's a strange smell. I have to say, it's almost like sulfur. It's almost like an egg. I don't know how else to describe it besides that. I know it's not off-gassing. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I'll know once I put it on my palate. But you do get some type of citrus there and a little bit of green tea. Let's see what we think. I mean, I think it's perfectly fine. But it does have a little bit of a strange sulfurous type of burn. I don't know. If that comes from the Mizunara, it'd be the first time I experienced that, but interesting. And just so you know, it was difficult to locate these bottles. And I actually had two other A Tale of that I was looking for, but I couldn't locate because they're just impossible to find. But if you could find them, let me know, because I'm just interested to know what other people have found. Let's go with the Tale of the Forest. Wow. Lovely. A little bit of smokiness. You get some eucalyptus. You're getting like a campfire smoke, which is just like a stronger, deeper smoke, which is something that you might smell if you've been on the beach and you're burning wood and it has like that moisture in it. You're also getting like a little bit of juniper. Wow. And some damp moss, for sure, some moss. And it's real needly, you know, it's like really cutting through my nasal passage. But not with the burn. With a lot of complex layers of scents. Let's see what happens with this Tale of Ice Cream. White chocolate, vanilla, almost like a dessert wine. For sure some honey. I'm going in for a second one because that is yummy. You get like some upside down cakes, some apricot, pineapple. Wow. Amazing. I'm going to melt things out real quick with a chip. Cut through with a little fat. And let's go again. Now from this side, back. See what I think. And by the way, they're all in the $100 price range. Very comparable in price. But I've seen them go up pretty dramatically. Like a Tale of Cake, I saw one for around $1,000 and it was gone. Couldn't find it anymore. Terrific. I mean, that strange dessert kind of flavor is just coming through, not only on the nose, but also on the palate and on the second taste. All right, let me soften myself up a little bit again. Do a little chocolate. A bit of water. Tale of Forest. Smokiness, peatiness, but in a very subtle, happy way. Not much of a burn. I think this is only 40. No, it's actually 46%. That is no way it's 46%. These are all 46%. This is probably the most mellow 46% I've ever tasted in my life from all three of these. Wow. All right, let's move on. Let's go back to A Tale of Tokyo. Let's see. A strange scent is coming through again. Yeah, this is my least favorite. I probably would never do this again. It's not bad, but it's not something I'm looking forward to. Unless there's just something wrong with this particular bottle, but I've never experienced that before. So I'm assuming it's not the case. The top two would be between the Tale of Forest and A Tale of Forest and also Tale of Ice Cream, but this would be my number 3. Let's go ahead. Let's put them head to head. Give myself a little bit of cheese. Let's go back to Tale of Forest. The smell of the forest is just so pleasant. Botanicals, herbs, and it's infused in it, which is, to me, is remarkable, because I know that wasn't like something that they intended to do on the liquor itself. It was part of the process that they used to kiln to dry out the barley. Wow, remarkable. All right, let's pick that. It's gonna be my final taste, so let's see. I mean, it's such a hard one between these two, but I'm going to say, just because of complexity and the fact that I like a little bit of smoke, I'm gonna give number 2 to A Tale of Ice Cream, which is honestly almost the number 1. I love it. The upside down cake, the fruitiness, the dessert, wow. But this just subtle hints of smoke, wow. So this would be my number 1. This is A Tale of the Forest. My number 2 would be A Tale of Ice Cream, and my number 3 would be A Tale of Tokyo. Those are my opinions. Let me know if you agree with them or you disagree. Put it down in my comments. Always check out my videos. I'm going to have some giveaways coming up for you guys. I'm also going to do some special tastings for you guys. If anybody wants to join me when I do a special tasting, probably in either Dallas or possibly in Georgia. Let me know how you feel about this kind of stuff. Let me know how you feel about this whole tasting right here. Looking forward to hearing from you guys again.